Hey everybody, Scott here for the Digital Guitar Playground. It's Friday, and today I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time. Holy cow! Let's name that riff using this for the first time in a long time. It's been hanging on the wall for months and months and never getting touched. It's my 1989/91 Ibanez Sabre. The body's an 89, neck's 91. This is from a mid-80s RG 560. That I bought off the lead singer of One-Eyed Doll. And yeah, the neck had one of the classic cracks right here. But if I just spread it open a little bit, got some wood glue in there, sanded it a little bit. I could probably do some more sanding on it, but it's been hard as a rock ever since. Great guitar. I stripped it, painted it, put in some Tom Anderson pickups, and a PRS style 5-way switch. So yeah. It's a fun custom thing that I painted in 2009, but I think it fits today's riff. I don't think I have a prize for today because, well, unless the winner is, you know, a Helix user, then I'll give you a preset package or HX Stomp or Pod Go. But if you're not one of those things, then what are you going to do? It won't be for this preset because today's preset is a hybrid preset. I'm using the Amp 1 and the HX Stomp combined, and something really interesting that I wanted to do just to see how it would sound. I'm using the direct out as opposed to the blue box. So I'm going direct out to the auxiliary in on the Helix, the 16 ohm speaker out into the ISO cab, which is mic'd, also coming into the Helix. Blending those two sounds, and I'll demonstrate the individual sounds and then put them together, and you get what you get. Yeah, I've got my presets set up to go cab, blue box, or direct out, whatever's coming into the auxiliary, and then both combined. Good stuff. And then I'll also show you how I'm doing it on the Amp 1 and the HX Stomp because, you know, I just want to share the info with people. Let you know what's what. And I'm really, you know, digging the sound of the HX Stomp into the Amp 1. So, you know, the Keith McMillan, what do you call it? Soft Step 2 is on its way. Should be here today. So I'm going to start working on that, working out the MIDI stuff in between the two bits, and then make a pedal board. Probably repurpose this one with those, the HX Stomp, Amp 1, blue box, because I would still love to have the blue box for you know, direct send for live shows and whatnot. If I ever play another live show, and then, you know, the soft step on there as well. I think the soft step is about yay big, so it should leave room for an expression pedal. That would be ideal, even though you don't really need it with the soft step because it's got, you know, sensors that. That's a whole thing. Shall we? Okay, here we are over at the stuff. Now we're running the 4-cable method into the Amp 1 with the HX Stomp. Everybody knows how to do that. That's not a big whoop. Now the settings on the Amp 1 are very simple. I'm on the vintage channel. The gain is only at 3. The master's at 10. Bass is at 5. Mid's at 4. Treble 4.5. And then we're at about 3 on the master output. We're going out straight to the ISO cab from the 16 ohm out, and then the direct out, the record out, is going into the Helix in the auxiliary input. So we can, I'll be able to isolate that one and then combine the two, blah, blah, blah. The HX Stomp settings are, let's see what we got here. We've got a Scream 808, which is the main drive. because the drive on this is very low. You know, it's only at 3. And it's on the vintage. So we've got a 6.6 gain, 6.6 tone, 6.7 level. I don't know how that happened. I'm usually way more OCD than that. I would not normally allow that, but you know, what the hell. I was actually going back and forth on a couple of different overdrives. I was using the compulsive drive at first, but it was a little bit too tight as far as the... I look at distortions in terms of levels of graininess. And, you know, like a Mesa Boogie is super tight. A Marshall is looser. It's a little bit more grainy in the way that I see it, because I kind of see sounds in a weird way. It's fucking bizarre. So the Scream is a better feel for the overdrive on the vintage for me. A little bit grainier, a little bit more open sounding, I think. There's some dual pitch happening. Using my -9, +9 trick with the sense going down -9 on one side and then up +9 on the other with levels of 9. And then a mix of 18%. Got an effects loop in here because if you don't have an effects loop in here, you don't. You just go into the return of this and you hear the clean sound. You just get the power amp. And then I'm making sure that my effects, my overdrive and my modulation, the pitch shifting, are pre as opposed to post. And then I've got some post EQ. I'm bumping up some 31 hertz, giving it a little bit of bottom, which is not something I would normally do, but this, if you listen to this tone, he's got a nice, you know, bottom end to it. I'm also pulling out some 1K 5.5, and that's it for the EQ. Duck delay is just a super quick slapback, 60 milliseconds, 38% mix. And then the final is a room reverb, because there's a very roomy sound on Steve's guitar on... Oh shit, I just gave part of it away. The guy's guitar who plays this riff. Anyway, there's a 1 second decay on the room, pre-delay of 33 milliseconds, low and high cut. Low cut's 440 hertz, high cut is 4.4 kilohertz, 46% mix. Now let me isolate the left side and the right side. First you're going to hear the my ISO cab, which is this and this with the amp one out to a speaker. And then the second one will be the direct out, which also gets, you know, influenced by obviously by the HX Stomp, but it is a totally different character. And then when you blend the two, you get something, you know, that's greater than the sum of its parts, I think. Because the one is pretty bright sounding and the other is kind of, you know, less bright sounding, let's just say. And then the two combined is pretty sweet. So let's do that. There you go, everybody. Have fun. Name that riff. If you can name that riff, you'll win the preset package of your choice if you're a Helix user or an HX Stomp user or a Pod Go user. For what I have, you know. I haven't really done any preset packages with the Pod Go, so you can throw that one out the window. But yeah, you know, it's just for fun. If you're not, you know, a Helix user. I'll be back on Monday with hopefully some MIDI stuff. Because this will be the first time, I mean, I'm not good at MIDI anyway. And if, you know, anyone out there wants to help me, please help me. Please help me. Doing a MIDI through is going to be complicated for me because I don't understand the concept. How to control 2 MIDI devices at the same time. Oh my god, it's too much. Anyway, I'm not a keyboard player, so I didn't grow up knowing MIDI out of the womb. So, have a good weekend. I will see you on Monday, and until then, rock on.